I want to tell you a little bit about my experience flying in clouds. It's difficult, it's disorienting. For example, there's a point in this flight coming up where I'm in a 30-degree banked turn. Looking at the video, I can't see it. And it looks exactly the same from behind the yoke, too. You have zero information from the outside world telling you that you're turning. And you also have misinformation from your body trying to tell you that you're turning when you're not, or that you aren't turning when you are. Human bodies were not built for flying. To do it safely, we have to use our brains and willpower to ignore the signals our bodies send. Those signals came about from life on the ground where the rules are different. Following those rules here can be fatal. Later on during this flight, I was in the clouds and everything in my body was telling me I was turning left. It really felt like I was banked to the left, turning slowly. Meanwhile, all of the instruments were saying otherwise. It's a strange sensation. I don't get motion sick very often, but I recognize that sensation as the first thing I'd feel before getting motion sick. This is why we train for instrument flying. Theoretically, it's pretty easy, just trust your instruments. But the path to doing that passes through a whole bunch of obstacles: disorientation, task saturation, fixation, and others. Instrument flying isn't merely learning how to deal with those obstacles. Those skills are perishable. You have to keep relearning them, or you lose them. Oh, but the reward. Life is full of rewards. But it's been my experience that most of the time, those rewards only come after enduring some sort of challenge, a difficulty that I had to overcome. Flying in the clouds is like that. It's disorienting and busy. It's mentally uncomfortable, but also physically uncomfortable, as clouds are more often turbulent than clear air. And if there are a few thunderstorms in the area, it can be scary, as the only thing you can think of is, when can I get out of this so that I can see where the death clouds are lurking? It's not every flight where my enduring the clouds is rewarded this spectacularly, but there's always some reward, some point at which I'm treated to a view that less than half of all pilots get to see, and less than 1% of all living humans get to see, and some tiny, tiny fraction of the history of the human race got to see. This is the message I want to convey, mostly to my children. Embrace the difficult and challenging times of life. I know it's uncomfortable, but there's always something you can learn from it. Maybe you can learn how to avoid these situations in the future. Or maybe you can learn how to better manage them when they inevitably come. Use your mind and willpower to remind yourself that this discomfort is temporary and it might actually serve a useful purpose. Find that purpose. This flight was incredibly beautiful outside for a long time. I had this view into the declining light for about 40 minutes. And it only took me a minute or two to get bored of it. I took a few pictures, then stopped really looking at it. Some of that, of course, was required for me to manage the flight. But I just stopped looking and stopped enjoying this brief 40 minutes of unique beauty. What a missed opportunity. And that's the other message for my kids. Don't get too accustomed to the reward. It isn't going to be there forever, so enjoy it while it's happening. Yes, there are things you have to do for the future. Attend to them, but come back to the present. And enjoy the fleeting moment that you get right now.